What does Zyn give you? Not just smoke-free nicotine satisfaction, but real freedom. Freedom to do what you love and choose your rewards. With Zyn Rewards, you can redeem points for premium tech, outdoor gear, and gift cards to your favorite retailers. Find your Zyn and keep finding rewards that fit your lifestyle at zyn.com/rewards. Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.
Now's a good time to remember where tequila's story truly began. In 1795, Cuervo invented tequila.
Cuervo.
What are you doing here?
Cuervo. Anytime someone says Cuervo, I show up.
Well, I do know that to be true, but even during ad reads, like...
Cuervo.
I think you could lay out, especially for one of our great partners.
Sweet, delicious Cuervo.
Since then, Cuervo has stayed true to its roots. The same family, the same land, the same passion.
Cuervo.
So, enjoy the tequila that started it all. Cuervo.
Cuervo.
The tequila that invented tequila. Proximo. Cuervo.com. Please drink responsibly.
Cuervo.
On WhatsApp, no one can see or hear your personal messages. Whether it's a voice call, message, or sending a password. To WhatsApp, it's all just this. So whether you're sharing the streaming password in the family chat or trading those late-night voice messages that could basically become a podcast, your personal messages stay between you, your friends, and your family. No one else. Not even us. WhatsApp. Message privately with everyone.
Let's go around the room here. Chris Cody, you start. Pronounce the name of the Miami Heat's point guard, please.
His name is... It's a tough one. Jokichunas?
Billy, you want to take a crack at it? First and last name.
All right, let me see how it's spelled here.
That's what I was like.
Hold on. Loading. The point guard?
Yeah.
Is that what you said?
Yep.
Tyler Hero.
Nope.
Davion Mitchell.
Nope.
Those are the only 2 point guards listed on this roster.
Well, keep going. The one that's 1 for 15 from Summer League in 3 games has missed all his threes and has 12 turnovers.
Summer League. Hold on. I'm still riding high on Cole Swider's performance from a couple days ago. Swider whip!
Swider whip! All right, we'll come back to you. Zaz, do you have a guess here? You want to take a shot at it?
Jokichunas.
Mike Ryan?
Zaz nailed it.
Yeah, I mean,
Kasperish Jokichunas.
he knows, though. That's cheating.
Well,
He's
no,
working
because
for the
they
team.
pronounced it differently. Both him and Mike are pronouncing it differently. And I wanted to present to the group the idea of when do you have to give someone the courtesy of learning their name because they've played well enough to force you to earn you pronouncing it correctly. I had to try Antetokounmpo a ton of times before he became great on television.
Yeah, this is a bunch of like American stuff, but we still don't know how to pronounce Jokic and Doncic. Like we vacillate between Doncic and Jokic.
Just generally, you should learn how to pronounce someone's name properly, not just because they did well.
Well, thanks, but I just asked you to, and I still don't have any proof.
Kasparis Jokichunas.
Yes.
Be a good player. I'll learn how your name.
Let's get ready to learn Fenerbahce.
Mike is very excited, and I don't know how much of his attention we're going to have because in 10 minutes there's going to be live tennis that he wants to watch, and I can't do shows with him, especially not on a Wild Willie Wednesday when he's totally distracted and not paying attention to what we're doing.
It's your American duty, if you like tennis, to be locked in today at 9:10 a.m. on the grass courts of Wimbledon.
Left?
As we have an American already in the semis. We're looking to have 2 American males in the semis. Wow. Ben Shelton takes on Yannick Sinner today. Sinner should wipe the floor with him, right? But Sinner's hurt. He's taken MRIs. He canceled practice yesterday. The money line on Sinner is tumbling down. Shelton's got a real shot here to pull off a big upset and get one step closer to perhaps having 2 American males in the Wimbledon final just days after Greg Cody posited that we're terrible at tennis.
Yeah. He does have his frustrations with American tennis, and he got no rebuttal from us here because Americans are not winning majors, but we didn't talk about the fact that Americans are in the top 10 for the first time in a long time.
We have 3 Americans in the top 10, the first time since 2006. You have to trace back to the Agassi days to find a time where there were where there were just as many Americans in the top 10. And Tiafoe's like right on the outside looking in, especially with hardcourt season coming up. He has an opportunity to perhaps get into the top 10 right now. We may not be winning the majors, and that's going to be really difficult with guys like Alcaraz and Sinner around. However, in terms of like pound for pound depth, you can put the United States right up there with anybody.
Where does tennis rank in terms of like American social relevance?
You mean like in the cultural sports landscape?
Yeah, like I felt like tennis used to be
Used to mean
bigger in
something.
America, but like I also feel like a lot of things used to be like that, and I just don't know if I'm just
Well, it was bigger when we
living
had
a different life.
It was
now.
bigger when we had Agassi and Sampras. Now, Sampras wasn't really this cult of personality. He played off of Agassi, and Agassi was absolutely a rock star on that tour. And yeah, Americans kind of need to see Americans winning on the men's side to really get into it. Keep in mind, we're the country that birthed Serena Williams. Coco Gauff just won the French Open, but for Americans to be captured by tennis, it seems to need to be a male that wins a Grand Slam.
Pickleball killed tennis.
You guys ever notice how there's just a fee for everything now? You buy a concert ticket, there's a fee. You rent a place for the weekend, cleaning fee. Just breathing near an event? How about a processing fee? It's wild. That's why I'm glad I found Chime. You can go to chime.com/Dan and skip all that nonsense. Chime has got fee-free banking. No monthly fees, no overdraft fees, no minimum balance fees, just clean, simple banking that actually helps you keep your money. And when you're trying to save or build something for yourself, fees can really set you back. Chime makes it easier to get ahead, not harder. Open your account in 2 minutes at chime.com/Dan. That's chime.com/Dan. Chime feels like progress.
Chime is a financial technology company, not a bank. Banking services and debit card provided by the Bancorp Bank N.A. or Stride Bank N.A. Members FDIC. Spot and eligibility requirements and overdraft limits apply. Timing depends on submission of payment file. Fees apply at out-of-network ATMs. Bank ranking and number of ATMs according to U.S. News and World Report 2023. Chime checking account required.
What's up, guys? Tony here, and I wanted to talk about something super important, and that's how I keep my home protected. Obviously, you guys know I have a little one back at home. My wife is there with her, and I get tremendous peace of mind knowing that the moment I leave for work, that my home, my property, my family is protected, not just reactively, but proactively by Simply Safe. They are the #1 for home security on the planet, on the market. There's nobody better than Simply Safe. I got the cameras going on. I got indoor cameras. I got outdoor cameras. I'm looking all over the place. Most security systems only take action after somebody breaks in, but you and I know that's too late, especially when you have a little one at home and when you have your wife at home and the big dog's not there, right? Simply Safe's new Active Guard outdoor protection helps stop break-ins before they happen. AI-powered cameras, live monitoring agents detect suspicious activity around the property. If somebody's lurking, agents talk to them in real time, turn on spotlights, and can call the police, proactively deterring crime before it starts. Everything's on the app. I want to see the cameras. Boom. I see who's walking their dog a little too close to my yard, maybe leaving some dog residue close to my yard. I can go on the microphone and say, buddy, clean up after your dog. Over 4 million Americans trust Simply Safe, and so do I. Simply Safe is offering Batard Show listeners 50% off a new system with professional monitoring. Plus, your first month is free. Visit simplysafe.com/DLB to claim this offer. That's simplysafe.com/DLB. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Whoa, you stumbled onto another Wild Billy Wednesday.
Hold on to your hats, partners. It's about to get wild.
Tony just announced with enthusiasm that he loves Wild Billy Wednesday, that it's his favorite day of the week.
There's nothing like a Wild Billy Wednesday where each and every second of the day that we're here, Billy hates it more than anything. And every time we do one of those, a spit and a spittoon, right there, a little piece of his soul dies, and I love it.
When did the spittoon die? When did we stop using the spittoon? When did spittoon makers go out of business because they were like, no more places where people need to just spit?
I think the plastic water bottle killed the spittoon.
No, big year. Spittoon.com, biggest year they've ever had last year.
Well, was it primarily made for chewing tobacco?
Yeah.
I guess when people stopped doing that regularly.
I would
baby.
love to know some of the history of the spittoon, whatever it is that you can get me in terms of spittoon information. I got to think that the spittoon over the last half century, maybe the last century, doesn't have a whole lot of usefulness. I don't think spittoon makers are having any luck in the industry.
You know what was crazy in the time of the spittoons is people would pull up to the bar and just pee there at the bar. They would either have a trough below the bar stools, or they would have a bucket where people would just whip their wieners out and pee.
You ever use a trough?
I hate it. Yeah, I don't like people looking at my wiener.
Use the trough at Fenway Park. Fenway Park. Like, it's the 21st century. Still doing a trough?
Yeah, I'll hold it. Thank you very much.
Wrigley Field disappointed me in that regard. Once upon a time, I'm assuming they've since fixed that. But yes, the Orange Bowl used to have the trough that was filled with urinal cakes. That was one of the worst places on earth. It felt to me like what the bathroom would be like in hell. Like where you're just in hell, you're wandering around, you're being tortured, everyone jumps out of the bushes, stabs you with pitchforks, you got to go to the bathroom, and then it's worse.
And trying to look at your dick, too.
Yeah. Wait, what are you guys expecting? Those are like old stadiums. The old stadiums, I would want the trough.
Just,
like Fenway, Wrigley, those are the ones where you go and like, yeah.
Don't understand why people were just so indecent back then. Yeah. Like, no, just look at everybody's wiener. It's fine.
Yeah. Well, since you've now brought that up, I want to go to Billy here because I overheard, because I, to be honest, I was listening to a conversation that I was not involved in.
This sounds like a betrayal.
A betrayal is coming, yes, because I heard you this morning say to somebody that you were talking to that your doctor asked you, how are your privates? And your response was, isn't that a question for you?
Well, no, it's an upcoming conversation to be had. I'm going to the dermatologist, and the dermatologist does like a full like body scan.
Yeah.
Where they see you, they look you up and down, not in an inappropriate way, in a professional way. That's their job. They're checking
How
your
would you
skin.
know the difference?
I don't know, but I assume that it's professional. It's always seems professional. It's consensual, but in an appropriate way because I'm married. So I consent to the doctor doing their job of looking up me up and down in a state of undress, but not in a way that is, inappropriate to my marriage. It's appropriate in this context for doctor reasons.
What was I overhearing, though, in terms of it seemed like you were deeply uncomfortable, and I must have misheard because I thought it was a doctor you had just gone to and asked, or that doctor had asked you, how are your privates? And I thought your response was, isn't that a question for you?
Well, so no, when they go and they look you up and down, it's the same. It's an annual checkup that I'm going for, but they look at my butt. Yeah. They'll tell me, all right, now either pull down your underwear. We need to check out your butt. Or like last year, they checked one cheek at a time, which I thought was weird. It's like we just check it all at once instead of pulling one side down and pulling it up, then pulling the other side down. We just pull down because you're in the robe and you're just wearing your undies. Even socks come off because they check your feet.
Are you standing in this? Or
yeah, I'm standing.
Is it like a kneel down, bend over kind of situation? Whoa. No, because they got to check everything. I don't know. I'm asking.
I thought usually
not the dermatologist.
You put your hands on you put your hands on that paper, that cruddy paper that they put over the bed.
I've never been told to put my hands somewhere.
I've never had someone lift one cheek and then lift the other.
No, they don't lift the cheek. They lowered the underwear on one side, and I had like a half thong while they checked one side, and then they lowered the other. And I was like, we could just pull it down and check it all at once. We don't need to do this.
Which doctor is this?
Dermatologist.
So they're checking for
skin. They're checking your skin. I have skin on my butt. I hate to say it. I have skin on my butt.
No, it's all right. I just don't go to the dermatologist.
Big mistake.
You got to go.
Mistake. Got to check.
Look at my skin. I obviously go every year, and I recently went, and the same thing happened to me, except I didn't get the butt check. I get the whole body, like legs, arms, neck.
Underwear everything. On or off?
Underwear's on.
We're in agreement that you should definitely be going to the dermatologist.
Thank you. And I do. And when I go, I got the same thing, but I didn't get the butt check. The guy basically at the end, he goes, anything in the private areas you want me to check out? And like Billy, I'm like, I don't know the answer to this question.
Well, some of us have a cute butt that they want to check.
I like to think no. And then but I was just like, I think I'm good. So I never got that area checked. Not the butt or the front.
Well, the front, they normally just avoid. But like the last year, they're like, anything in your privates that you want me to check? And I'm kind of like, I don't know. I think everything's fine, but I don't just want to whip it out and then have it be like this. I'm trying, again, married man here. I appropriately am checked out and not ogled because that's inappropriate. I'm appropriately checked in a state of undress, but I'm not just going to expose everything if it's not part of the test. So it's kind of like, do you think you're good? I'm like, I think so, but I don't know. But then I'm not. So I'm just assuming I am. So if something kills me, it's probably in that area.
Put it on the poll, please, at Batard Show. Do you know that your privates are okay without a dermatologist's help?
A dermatologist could find something on my arm that I think is just a freckle or fine, and then they're like, we need to take like a biopsy of that. So and honestly, too, like I don't want a biopsy of that area. It seemed like it would hurt a lot.
This is why I've said I want an older doctor. If I have like a 60-year-old, I'm like, check out my balls. Whereas the guy's like my age. Before the thing, he's like, oh, where do you golf around here? We're like connecting. And then afterwards, he's like, let me see. And I'm just like, no, I feel like we're friends now. I don't want to show you my balls.
So you prefer no small talk?
No, don't ask me about my golf game.
So wait, but you
do it after the check.
No, but it sounds like you'd prefer to be anonymous. Like you don't want this person to even know your name. You don't want anything. Yes. So they're going to know the most intimate stuff about you, but you don't want them to know anything about you.
So Chris, you just want to have a glory hole dermatologist.
Don't
where you
ask
just kind of put it in, and then people check it out, and they're like, all right, he's good.
Ask me my handicap after.
Can I tell you something that I used to do?
I would think that they would tell you about your handicap when they were looking at it.
So here's something that I used to do along the same lines, but it's different. So like growing up Catholic, you'd have to go to confession and all this stuff, right? I would go to like random churches to go to confession because I'm like, I don't want this priest knowing any of my dirty business. I know that you're supposed to keep it a secret.
How dirty was your business?
Well, whatever it is, like I lied 3 times this month. I don't want them to know that because then like something happens and then all of a sudden then I could get like blackmailed by the priest. The priest stands up during mass and like, Billy Gill's a liar, and it's like, whoa, Father, forgive me for my sins.
You guys aren't going to be able to defeat me the rest of your life in terms of the worst story in this regard that any of us have.
Well, I haven't shown my wiener yet, so maybe.
Nope. You will not have a better story.
You're not going to strong arm me into showing my wiener today.
We're still calling it wiener, huh?
I will use a weak
professionally.
arm. I will use a weak arm
terms.
to push you away. I don't need a strong arm to push you away here. There is nothing that will happen to you at any examination the rest of your life that is worse than my story here, which is that I was at a testicular ultrasound. I had my legs up in the air, and I'm as vulnerable as all of you can imagine that is. And I still remember the look, the way you would if you were damaged or scarred by something, between my legs of a face popping up and saying to me at that moment, I'm such a big fan.
I like that. Sweet. How are the twins doing?
Disarming.
Worse as I get older.
Oh.
This is weird for your optometrist to do.
You don't want like an icebreaker there to kind of like, I know this is weird.
Any icebreaker except that one.
Really?
I'm going to go ahead and say in that region, you don't want either ice or breakers.
Did they give you any details? Because maybe they're just a fan of your testes.
Right.
No.
That's an ultimate compliment. I'm a big fan.
No, it's not the ultimate
Unless
compliment. No.
it was in an unprofessional manner.
That's right.
Did you say I'm a married man?
Non-consensual.
Yeah.
The thing that he said afterward is, and I remember this because it was just horrifying in every way. But right after, I'm such a big fan. I've been reading you since I was a kid. And I'm just, that's not the time for that.
If it was about the testes, that's really weird.
Hey everybody, it's Mike. Down here in South Florida, as the audience well knows, we've been celebrating a proper championship, and we've been enjoying every minute of it. And by my side throughout that entire championship celebration has been Miller Lite. Yeah, I wanted to make my championship time a Miller time because much like most of the fun memories I've had as an adult, Miller Lite has been right there by my side, supplementing every experience. And now that I'm about to travel during the summer, you can rest assured I'm going to be having plenty of Miller Lite along the way, because that's what summer's all about. And since 1975, Miller Lite has been right there in all those memories for you listening right now. It's the 50th anniversary of Miller Lite. That's 50 years of great taste, great friends, great moments. Miller Lite, great taste, 96 calories. Go to MillerLite.com/Dan to find delivery options near you, or you can pick up some Miller Lite pretty much anywhere they sell beer. Cheers to 50 years of Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces.
All right, everybody, this is a wild one. For the first time ever, we've got a full-blown all-women's boxing mega event going down in New York City. 2 title fights, same night. And if you're like me and live for the action, DraftKings Sportsbook is where it's at. Never bet with DraftKings before? It's super simple. Just pick who you think is going to win, and that's it. Here's the kicker. New customers can bet just $5 and instantly get $150 in bonus bets. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app right now and use promo code Dan. That's promo code Dan for new customers to get $150 in bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY at 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly on behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas. 21 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio.
Don Le Batard.
That was a long story.
Yeah.
That's the only kind he tells.
It was a short one for me. I tried to speed it up for you guys.
You forgot about the Leagues Cup.
Stugotz.
Yeah.
La Carreta is a place where the best of the celebrations has to be the 97 Marlins celebration because it was Levon
Well, when
Hernandez.
Fidel died the first time.
This is the Don Le Batard Show with the Stugotz.
Let me play for the folks here some video and audio of just a tremendous golf fight. You do not get to say this very often. I can't say for sure that I've ever around here shown a video of any kind of a golf fight. Like, what do you guys imagine a golf fight looks like? Chris, what is your favorite part of this video? Because, as often happens with golf, some people up ahead are drunk and playing too slowly, and the group behind them gets agitated. And what happens next is that the people who were drunk and are objecting to the people who are agitated don't know or realize that there's a former Florida Panthers enforcer in the group that would like them to move along a little bit. And so what happens after that, we're going to call it a fight, right? But this is one-sided. It's not two people fighting. It's one person who's fighting and the other person is just taking a beating.
Well, no, but it's 2 active participants. It's not like one guy decided, all right, I'm going to beat the out of you. Like, it's 2 active participants.
All right, well, let's play that now so that you guys can have all of the context for this.
And go. Don't know what you're doing. You're not scaring anybody. You're just making yourself. Hey, man.
Now he runs at the
Come
enforcer.
on, man.
Enforcer throws him into a lake.
He told him he was going to throw him into the lake, too.
I told you. Man, leave him alone. You want another dude? Came at me. Leave him alone, man. I got it all.
Crawling out of the lake, going back at the enforcer.
Hey, you want to go, guys? Leave him alone. Hey, leave him alone.
Helping our audio audience with the bangs.
Yeah, he's saying bang every time he hits him in the face. He's just saying, he's putting bangs in.
Enough! Are you still cheering on you? Enough! Get out!
This is the best. He could have kept punching him, but he just tosses him.
Well, he doesn't want to keep hitting him. Like he doesn't want to. He knows his fists are weapons. He doesn't hit the other guy with his fists. He just pushes him. It must be one of the greatest confidences in the world to know that you can fight like that.
Who knew Mike Breen had it in him?
There are 5 punches to the face, each of them accompanied with audio sound effects provided by the deliverer of the punches.
And the bang is like a direct hit, because you're not going to say bang if it's an errant punch.
Oh, no, but keep playing it again. I want everyone to see all of this, because it's not just that he's saying bang with impeccable timing. Like, he knows that that's going to land before it lands, and they all land. It helps that the other guy's drunk.
And half his size.
And before the fight actually starts, the guy who gets his ass beat does the thing of like, I'm trying to intimidate you. What? And then he gets his ass beat.
Mike says that he's small, but he's not small. He's smaller. He's smaller than the other guy.
I mean, he's half his size. This dude has, the former Panthers enforcer has 100 pounds on this guy. Yeah. He is, the guy he's fighting is tiny.
Thank God for this guy's friend, though, because this is a longer video. Like, at one point, like his drunk friend is just like, he's like me in that spot. Please, just stop.
Chris, it is an absolutely wild move to get thrown into a pond and to crawl out for more.
You notice, though, it's like he's still fighting like a hockey player, because normally two guys fight, it's just, let's throw some punches. No.
Grab the shirt.
This guy's his name is Nick Tarnasky, all right? He grabs the drunk guy by the shirt, because you got to hold on when you're on skates. And then bang, bang.
I want you guys to imagine the drunk guy's friends right now just saying to him, do you know how hard it is to almost get thrown into a lake 1 3/4 times? Because he got thrown into one lake, and then only because he slipped in the momentum of being thrown into the other one did he not land in a totally separate lake. Like, it is really hard to lose a fight this impressively when the person winning the fight doesn't actually want to fight you, has no interest. Billy,
once he got going, he was getting into it.
Okay, but Billy,
he's holding up the shirt so the guy doesn't fall, so he could keep banging him.
Billy, the second time that he throws him almost into a lake is the time that he could have turned his face into hamburger because of how he had him lined up and already woozy. He was kind by taking him the second time and just launching him. But I just wonder which is more embarrassing to you. I would say the next day you're with your friends, okay? And they're like, yeah, we understand your face is swollen. That's an NHL enforcer. What bad luck. What are the odds?
At least it's not on video.
What are the odds that we would be on the golf course and the guy we'd run into agitating would be a guy who fought for a living, stayed in hockey only because he was someone who could fight? That's terrible that would be your odds. But then your friends say to you, terrible face, and he caught you with all 5 shots and said bang each time. However, do you know how close you were to going into both lakes with your deck shoes and your collared shirt and shorts? Like you almost went into both lakes. Like, one more time, I just want to see the ending of this because I want to watch all of it just to see. Chris, I think I have this right. I think he was saying bang before the connection, not upon connection. Like, it was just upon. It was right before all of the punches landed, but I want you to see how close he was the second time to going into the second lake. And only because he's drunk and clumsy did he not go flying past that tree. I can't believe he told him he was going to throw him in the lake and then did.
He just did it.
The lake was not close when he said it.
And the way he crawls out of the lake here.
Did you hear in the background the enforcer's friend says once that guy falls into the lake, he says, "Good start, buddy."
They're also trying to deter with, I'm recording this.
I got it all on record.
Now watch here on the charge here. Now watch when Jason Kelsey starts to stagger here and then charges right past him. You can see Jason Kelsey's got no shot here. He almost
just lawn darted.
So he almost slides through the marsh into the
for a second time into a pond.
You have to lie to him, right? Like if you're his friends,
all
like
on record.
all on record.
Should have seen the other guy. You did a great job, buddy. Hoping that video never comes out.
At what point the next morning do one of the friends tell the guy who got his ass kicked, by the way, it's been viewed over 4 million times on multiple accounts.
I got it all on record.
Billy, the Marlins have now won 11 straight road games. Yesterday, they allow a first-inning home run and then scored 10 unanswered. In the last month, the Marlins have won more road games than all of the following teams combined in the last month. Yankees, Mets, Cubs, Braves.
Mm-hmm.
The Marlins have won 11 road games in a row. The Braves have won 15 road games all season.
Braves suck.
Billy.
I've been telling you. No one wants to listen to me.
The Braves are still better than the Marlins.
No, they are not.
Yeah,
well, they're behind them in the standings. Their run differential is much better than the Marlins.
Yeah, only by 52.
But the Marlins can hit the baseball. And I believe that run differential over the first half of the season is distorted because of what happened the first month. And I don't know if it's real, but their hitting seems real. Like, they club the baseball. I don't think it's a hot streak, Billy. Are your thoughts that this is some sort of hot streak? I don't know where it is.
I mean, yes, they've won 11 straight road games, 7 out of the last 10. Like, they're hot right now. Things are clicking. I don't know that this is sustainable or this is who they actually are. I mean, they're still not in the playoffs. In the wild card, they're I think 7 games out, but it's a fun surprise that they're this exciting of a team. I don't think anyone had these expectations going into this season, but I don't know. You're now headed towards a trade deadline where we assumed they were just going to sell off whatever pieces people wanted, and now you have to wonder, like, do we add now? Because you're, again, 7.5 out of the wild card. There's so many teams ahead of you right now that I think you trade Sandy if you get the haul that you're hoping for, but don't settle for anything less.
I do think it's interesting. I think you made the point yesterday how it's a young team, so you would assume they're going to continue getting better. They're going to continue improving, as opposed to an older team, which, might run out of gas.
Billy, what I'd like to know, because I believe they're just below average in terms of offense, but they have not been over the last month or 6 weeks. Like, they are just crushing the baseball.
Some details, Dan. Over the course of the full season, they're 19th in runs per game. However, they're roughly around 10th in batting average and 4th in at-bats per game, so they're getting some looks.
I don't know that plate discipline is great, but they do hit the ball. You just don't believe in it yet, right, Billy? You're not going to believe this kind of winning on the road, and they're beating teams that are winning teams, right? The Reds might just be a 500 team, but they are still they go into the series as a winning team. 11 in a row on the road. I'm going to say it again. That's more than the combination of the Braves, Yankees, Mets, and Cubs have on the road since June 12th. That's not merely a surprise.
That's baseball. I mean, who records things since June 12th?
Fair enough. That's a Tim Reynolds stat, incidentally. That is not my stat. You can say that is just baseball, but where are you on this team? You're not going to give them your hope yet. You don't believe it. It's certainly, you're not meeting this with anything other than, publicly right now
fun.
Talking about it. You're meeting it with skepticism. You're not meeting it with enthusidasm.
I thought last week, you didn't like that they were playing well.
I didn't?
Yeah,
I went to the game. They lost.
No. What I mean is, you didn't like that you were going to be you were going to have emotion in this team. You didn't expect that you were going to have to care about.
Oh, I didn't want to be emotionally invested.
Yes,
in it.
Yeah, that's right.
No, it's fun. I mean, it's exciting, and when they come back to town, I would encourage anyone to go out and watch them. They're a fun young team. It's not exactly reminiscent of the 2006 Marlins that everyone fell in love with. That was the surprise team where it's wow, Jorge Cantu, Mike Jacobs, Dan Ugla, all of them, right? Where it's I can't believe they might go on a run. Are they going to make the playoffs? That's how I guess you could compare them. I wouldn't say I have that feeling about them, but it's a fun team, and it's young pieces that you could theoretically build around. And so far, we're seeing that Peter Bendik's got a lot of these guys when they were just out there for anyone to have. And he's made them, a competitive-ish team. I don't think that this is a team that's going to get to the playoffs and go on a long run in the playoffs. But, I mean, it's a surprising team. It's a fun young team.
I just want games that matter the second half of the season.
Well, I mean, to matter to what extent?
That you're interested in.
Yeah, no, you can be interested in. I don't think that they're going to go on a long playoff run here, but it's a fun team to watch. It's an exciting team. They're never totally out of it. Even the other day, the 4th of July, they ended up losing that game, but they had runners on first and second, down 1 in the 9th inning. It was a fun game.
How many are they back right now?
7.
They're 7.5 in the wild card. They're 10 in the East right now.
No, forget about the East.
Oh.
If you're, remember that. Forget about that. If you're within 5 games, when you get into August, you got a team you can watch.
I mean, the thing though, Zaz, is that now with the 3 wild card spots, everyone's in it. Back in 2003 when it was a wild card and it was 5 games back, you're okay, I can get it. Now, virtually everyone is in it at some point in the season. But if they keep playing, they could get that 3rd spot. I mean, just 2 years ago they were in the playoffs.
They'll probably keep playing, right?
Yeah, no, they're going to keep playing. I would think.
I think that's a good assumption.
By the way, I have a quick update. Spittoon's still very popular at wine tastings.
Yeah.
Well, yes, that's not what I'm talking about, though, but fair enough. Used as I guess it's still used as a spittoon when you're spitting out wine, but
that was helpful, man.
The sound that we're playing of a ting off of a spittoon, that is tobacco juice.
Yeah, were people eating BBs? What makes that sound?
It's a good question. Because it sounds more like a bullet than it does spit.
It's when men had gusto in their spit. Now people spit willy-nilly.
Men
back then,
Shows how to spit.
You really
Tony.
want me to spit?
Yeah. Spit in Mike's cup right there.
Tony, don't listen to him. Please don't listen to him. You're
It's
bad.
Wild Billy Wednesday. Then I have to listen to everything
I
he
want to
says,
see how
apparently.
men spit.
You did the loogie thing, so is it
Thank
in
you.
your mouth now?
Yeah.
No, it was dry.
Yeah, the only way that would have worked if it had been hanging from Billy's face by the end of it.
Why?
I wanted to so bad.
Tony wants to teach us how men spit.
This episode is brought to you by State Farm. Sports are all about teamwork, and so is insurance. Whether you need an in-person or digital assist, State Farm is there to help you choose the right coverage for your home, car, and more. Get a game plan that helps fit your life and talk to State Farm today. State Farm with the assist. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability and eligibility vary by state.
At Sierra, you'll always find apparel, footwear, and gear for 20 to 60% less than department and specialty store prices. But right now it's clearance time, so you can save even more on everything you need to get active and outside. Visit your local Sierra store today.
Don Le Batard.
I may take it one step further.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
You're getting sexier by the moment.
Slow down. We haven't even gotten.
Stugotz.
I'm gonna
Jason Sanders, you're on notice.
Oh, my God.
One in spite of him.
Oh, wow.
I love you, Duke.
This is the Don Le Batard Show with the Stugotz.
So I want to know from the group what you guys imagine the reaction the drunk golf guy would have had if, as he's squaring up, flexing, and sort of doing a gorilla scream trying to intimidate a former NHL enforcer. If I had gone up to him at that point, because I don't know what's the drunkest any of you have been, and said to him, look, according to hockeyfights.com, this guy has 167 professional hockey fights. Do you want to change your mind about that primal gorilla scream you did in their face? Like, how drunk would any of you have to be to not be dissuaded by that information as you're squared up and screaming and saying, you know what? I understand that alcohol dilutes my discernment. My judgment is not good. I apologize, sir. Never mind. I've had too much to drink.
Hockey guy's friends there need to almost protect hockey guy by being like, he's a hockey player. He fought for a living. Like, there's none of that there. There's not. I mean, they were so
I don't
drunk.
think so.
I don't think that would have stopped it because those guys were just so drunk that I don't think they were thinking. But
Hockey player clearly did not want to fight. The other guy literally charged at him.
I'm not blaming the hockey player, but I'm just saying somewhere before the fight, one of hockey player's friends could have been like, "You don't want this noise. This guy used to fight for a living."
Yeah, but that's what your friends say, though. They don't. That's what your friends say when they're next to you.
Isn't it enough for hockey player to tell him, "I'm going to throw you into the lake"? Isn't that enough warning to not fight me?
No. See, that's not enough. That I'm going to throw you into the lake is not the warning of, according to hockeyfights.com, this guy has fought 167 times in the NHL, AHL, and ECHL.
I know this golf scene. Like, I see what's happening here. This guy needed just a turkey sandwich at the turn.
Little Sammy.
Like, I'm telling you, the guy who got his ass beat, he's so drunk. I've been out there where you're just letting loose. It's a weekend day. You're having fun. Around the turn, you got to knock down that turkey sandwich. You got to put something in there.
It's tough to be that drunk because at around like 6 holes in, you're like, all right, let's get a snack.
Right.
Let's nosh on a little something here.
That's 16th hole, probably no food.
That dude's just freebasing 151.
The guy who got beat up, what do we guess his line of work is?
Why are we doing that? You think that he's got a line of work that is...
I'm wondering when that video is viewed 4 million times, does his employer look and say, I don't know if it's the right place for you anymore?
It depends. Do you want to buy a house from the guy that's viral for getting beat up, or do you not want to buy a house from that guy?
I'll buy a house.
You'll buy a house from
What's
anyone?
the interest
From
rate?
anybody, dude.
Have you seen the prices out here in Kendall?
Give me a good interest rate. I'll buy from that guy.
Hard out here.
I really don't understand what you're saying there when you say I'll buy a house from anyone.
They're saying Cape Coral is the ground
No, but
zero
the thing
for
is,
the
I
next
work
housing
here in
crisis.
downtown Miami. It's a really long drive, like Stugotz from Cape Coral over here. So yes, at this point, I will buy a house from anybody. I don't care who it is, as long as the price is right.
Thank you for mentioning Stugotz. He has arrived in Tahoe, and we encourage all of you to check out the new YouTube channel, Stugotz. God Bless Football and Stupidity.
That's not the channel.
You've got StuTube with Stugotz.
Let me help the audience and you. It's youtube.com/@Stugotz790, same as his social handles.
It's super easy to find. All you have to do is go to StuTube, and he is there. Let's play a clip from Stugotz arriving. He has arrived in Tahoe, and Billy has been wise enough not to go on this trip because there are going to be hard times with reimbursements if Stugotz is taking control of his own vehicle, and Taylor has already learned this the hard way.
I'm trying to check into the hotel. They're like, hey, there's no card on file. I said, okay, that was... Could have seen that one coming a mile away.
Well, I paid for your hotel. What do you mean?
They said there was no card on file.
I put my card on the file.
This is a he said, she said right now, and what I'm telling you, she said at the register is there's no card on file.
And what I'm telling you is she is a liar.
You think she double charged you?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I'm not worried. Yes. Did you pay cash?
No, card.
Taylor's going to get such a sunburn out there.
Yeah.
My God.
I don't know.
Put a hat on, man.
Yeah.
Billy, do you have any post-traumatic stress disorder there?
PTSD? No. I've never been to Tahoe. This is the closest that I came to going. I've heard that it's very nice. Very nice. But I felt like I'd leave you guys in a bad spot if I just disappeared for a week on short notice. I didn't want to,
That's the only reason you didn't go?
Well, no, I mean, it was one of the reasons. There's a lot to take into consideration.
Including the lack of reimbursement that would come from...
Well, that was part of it, too. Yeah, I want my kids to go to college, so I kind of need to, make wise financial decisions.
And he had a dermatologist appointment.
I have a dermatologist appointment, and also, it's Prime Day. Like, I got to save my money for the deals,
Are you going to be active today on Prime Day? Are you going to crush it? Do you look forward to Prime Day? You love a bargain.
I used to, but not so much anymore. I didn't even look yesterday. My wife started sending me all this stuff because
they love money.
So I was there, and my wife was like...
Everyone loves money.
Well,
I know. Wives.
Are you saying wives aren't people, Dan? I don't
Everyone.
understand.
Just everyone.
Well.
Yep.
You're on the wrong side of this.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Billy.
Yeah,
I'm
Dan.
saying wives aren't people. That is what I was saying.
I'm just trying to figure out.
No,
We're
that
gonna
is
regret
what I
this
was
take.
saying.
Keep trying to protect Dan from himself.
Yes.
I am. That's what I'm trying to do
don't know
here.
what
He's
he's
going to
doing.
step in it here.
Wives, put it on the poll. Are wives people?
Try to give
Let's
him the
not
right
do that.
YouTube channel. He undercuts it.
It's
I don't know what's
StuTube.
going
It's easy
on.
to
Try
find.
protect him from
Prime
sexism.
Day.
He
I
just
mean, if you
runs
want,
right into it.
car seats, there's a car seat very big discount if you want a car
Let's
seat.
go to minor
Plan
league
ahead.
baseball here, and a minor league baseball video that I was not expecting to see today. I will tell you again, as I have often said about referees and umpires, the longest lament that there is in sports is to lament the officiating. But I have said many, many times before that the complaining about the officiating is generally pretty weak. But beyond that, what's the point of having judges if you aren't going to allow them to use judgment and just stick to the letter of the rule? So the letter of the rule here is that this pitcher should be called for a balk. But you tell me whether it's fair to call this particular minor league pitcher for a balk.
Third with nobody out. 1-1 the count on Paulie. A huge crash of lightning as Contreras kicked. And it's a ball.
Oh, get out of here.
They're going to call that a balk, and everybody jumped.
Mother Nature gives Jacksonville a run. It's 2-1. And Norfolk is arguing the call, but I don't know how you could argue that. Unfortunately,
don't know how.
No, don't do that. I want to say the F word so bad right now. Get out of here.
For the audio audience, the pitcher starts his windup, and in the middle, the lightning strikes, and he just gets jolted by it and stops
His
mid-pitch.
leg was up, and he just stopped.
He did not get jolted
It
by
was
it.
super loud and scary. Everybody on the field jumped, including Mr. Tough Guy Umpire.
Hold on a second. I want to just show the audio audience what they just realized a second ago, because Chris tried to be helpful for the audience and used the word jolt, which now has us showing video of a pitcher being struck by lightning, collapsing on the mound, being smoldering, and the ump coming out and saying that's a balk.
Figuratively jolted.
I'm not sure that umpire wouldn't have ruled that.
Jolted is the exact wrong verb.
I see that.
Jolted. When I say if you're
The
trying,
worst word I could have
if you're trying to describe something for the audio audience that does not confuse them about a strike of lightning,
He was startled.
jolted makes it sound, and Zaz is right about this. If that umpire is calling a balk in that situation, what's preventing him from calling a balk in the situation where the pitcher has been struck by lightning and struck dead by a bolt that has jolted him?
That's ridiculous. I mean, a meteor falls into center field. Balk. Like, come on.
Put it on the poll at Batard Show. Would the umpire call a balk if the pitcher saw a meteor strike the foot of the mound?
They're there to interpret the rules, right? That's quite literal. Everyone on the field jumps because a huge... Why is this game being played, by the way?
Yeah.
That is terrible. That is lightning that is very close by. Yeah. You can't be doing that. You hold your arms up and no harm, no foul. Everybody understands what happened.
But can you entertain the hypothetical, please? If this umpire is willing to call this in this situation, then he also, in the name of consistency, has to call it if the pitcher has been struck by lightning and lost a leg during the middle of his kick.
If they were jolted.
Well, hold on a second. In a Dark Knight, didn't Troy Polamalu keep playing as the field was completely falling apart? They didn't stop play on that. Like, once the play is going on, you got to play, whether Bane's there or not.
It was Hines Ward, I think, not Troy Polamalu.
Was it?
Yeah, but either way, they
Weird
both
to
gave
be returning a kick.
110%.
I don't know. Thank you, Tony.
Consistency,
You
right?
should
That's
be
what we're doing.
accurate if you're willing, as you're always willing to help, Billy. You should do so with the correct information.
I thanked him.
It'd be weird, Troy Polamalu returning a kick, which is what the opening scene is, where he has the kickoff and then he returns the kick for a touchdown. It's Troy Polamalu.
To be fair,
Be
Hines
weird.
Ward returning a kick is also weird.
Yeah.
True. It really wasn't his game. You know, no ACL. Just didn't have one.
Like born without it?
Just didn't have an ACL and had a Hall of Fame career, arguably. Is it arguable or is it? No, is he a Hall of Fame guy?
He is not in the Hall of Fame.
Should he be?
Nope, that's why he's not in.
That's why Zaslow's a judge. He's a professional judge, and I think he would agree with my assessment. What's the point of having judges if you're not going to ask them to use their judgment? Anyone can protect the letter of the rule. You have judges to protect the spirit of a rule. What anyone watching that would say, if everyone on the field was startled by a lightning bolt, that should be an exception. No one, neither manager, nobody in either dugout would complain if the umpire said, I'm not going to call that a balk. That is an understandable time for the pitcher to flinch.
The manager came out to confront the umpire. Well, like, what does the umpire say to him? The manager definitely came out and said, yo, what the hell?
There are lightning delays in baseball. Why can't that just be, hey, the game is paused?
Precisely. Of all the rules to enforce there, how about the weather ones?
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, I don't know if we mentioned, like the balk brought in a run.
Yes, everybody advanced.
Go Shrimp.
By the way, Hines Ward, 9-time semifinalist. The resume suggests that eventually Hines Ward should get into the Hall of Fame. All-time leader in receptions and receiving yards for a storied franchise.
And touchdowns.
Greatest blocking receiver maybe of all time.
You're going to be waiting forever.
In the name of accuracy is Dark Knight Rises, not The Dark Knight.
Thank you, Billy.
Number 2. You know me, I like my facts.
An important distinction.
Well, Dark Knight Rises, was that? I think that was number 3.
Without it being a spoiler alert, Hines
name
Ward.
of accuracy.
Tony, I can't remember.
Third one.
Hines Ward. What happened on that kick return? Did he fall into the field? Was there?
No, he scored.
No, he was safe.
Yeah, he was safe. Other people on the Bane side.
If the umpire was doing that game, he would have ruled a touchdown.
The referees did rule a touchdown. They were looking back, but shocked, and then threw their hands up in the touchdown.
Hey everybody, it's Mike. Down here in South Florida, as the audience well knows, we've been celebrating a proper championship, and we've been enjoying every minute of it. And by my side throughout that entire championship celebration has been Miller Lite. Yeah, I wanted to make my championship time a Miller time because much like most of the fun memories I've had as an adult, Miller Lite has been right there by my side, supplementing every experience. And now that I'm about to travel during the summer, you can rest assured I'm going to be having plenty of Miller Lite along the way, because that's what summer's all about. And since 1975, Miller Lite has been right there in all those memories for you listening right now. It's the 50th anniversary of Miller Lite. That's 50 years of great taste, great friends, great moments. Miller Lite, great taste, 96 calories. Go to MillerLite.com/Dan to find delivery options near you, or you can pick up some Miller Lite pretty much anywhere they sell beer. Cheers to 50 years of Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces.